In certain regions of the country, Indigenous Peoples Day is a yearly event honoring the contributions made by Native Americans to American culture. On the second Monday of October, it is observed. Since 1991, it has served as a counter-celebration to Columbus Day. The holiday is known as Native Americans Day in South Dakota. Columbus Day was declared a public holiday by U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1937. Catholic Italian Americans wished to acknowledge the contribution of Christopher Columbus, a genuine adventurer who discovered the Caribbean and conquered Indians on behalf of the Spanish crown. They wanted Columbus to be incorporated in American history. Columbus Day honors Christopher Columbus landing on Hispaniola in 1492. According to Leo Kilsback, a Northern Cheyenne Nation native and assistant professor of American Indian Studies at Arizona State University, one of the major myths regarding Columbus is that he was righteous. Furthermore, he underlined that Columbus did not land where the United States is currently located. Among the primary concerns surrounding Columbus Day celebrations were reports of how Columbus and his men handled Hispaniola's local inhabitants during colonization. Friar Bartolomé de las Casas, a Spanish colonist and scholar, documented the Spaniards' brutality toward indigenous men, women, and children in Hispaniola colonies. The Arawak people were treated as slaves, with dead bodies being sold as dog food, some being burnt alive, women being held as sex slaves and exploited as cash, and the majority being forced into slave labor. Some historians say that Columbus' voyages paved the way for institutionalized slave trade in the Americas. As a result, much of the Taino people were wiped off over generations. The concept of Indigenous Peoples Day in the United States originated in 1977 at the United Nations International Conference Against Indigenous Populations in the Americas in Geneva, Switzerland. In 1989, the South Dakota legislature approved legislation designating 1990 as the Year of Reconciliation, which subsequently led to the replacement of Columbus Day with Native Americans Day. In 1992, precisely 500 years after Christopher Columbus' trip to Hispaniola, Native organizations resolved to commemorate indigenous culture as a counter-celebration to Columbus Day. The Indians of America have never given up our ongoing battle against the circumstances of tyranny, discrimination, and exploitation imposed on us as a result of the European conquest of our ancestral territory. Our battle is more than just a conjectural reflection of the 500 years of tyranny that the invaders, with the help of our country's democratic governments, aim to transform into joyous occasions for celebration. Our battle, which will bring us to ultimate emancipation, is based on our identity as Indian people, nations, and nationalities. We are retaliating violently and pledging to ignore this celebration. A passage taken from the Quito Declaration. Los Angeles skipped Columbus Day that year and proclaimed the full year to be the Year of the Indigenous People. Aside from Indigenous Peoples Day, Leif Erikson Day is a possible replacement for Columbus Day. Many experts believe that Leif Erikson, a Viking, was the first European to set foot in the Americas 5 centuries before Columbus. Despite the number of states that observe this day, Indigenous Peoples Day is not a public holiday for everyone, therefore all businesses and government agencies are open. Only California and South Dakota observe this day as a non-working holiday. South Dakota celebrates Native Americans Day on the second Monday of October. Children are educated and provided materials about Native American traditions, culture, and history. This is the day for powwows, or the annual meeting of Native Americans in Berkeley, California. powwows feature socializing, singing, and dancing by the Aboriginal people. Native American Day was established as a yearly statewide celebration on the fourth Friday of September in 1998. The states of South Dakota, Vermont, Minnesota, and Alaska observe Indigenous Peoples Day in lieu of Columbus Day. The following cities are well known for marking the day for Native Americans: Berkeley, Los Angeles, Austin, Denver, Overlane, Bangor, Seattle, Phoenix, and Portland. Additionally, a number of colleges and communities in California, Washington, New York, Michigan, and New York are switching to honoring Indigenous Peoples Day in lieu of Explorers Day. On October 10, 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump tweeted his confirmation of the Columbus Day holiday. The Native Americans are the original inhabitants of the United States, having lived there for a long time prior to the arrival of the Spanish. Another name for them is American Indians. Over 500 Native American Indian tribes are federally recognized, save those in Hawaii. Christopher Columbus came up with the word Indian because he thought he had arrived in the Indies during his expedition. Millions of Native Americans perished as a result of the illnesses that European settlers carried to the Americas, causing a sharp drop in population. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and click the bell icon to stay updated with more exciting videos.